Buddy. Welcome to Here Be Dragons, where creativity meets courage and dragons live in the art we create and the lives we lead. I'm Carla Morrow of DragonLady Art, and with me is my co-pilot and dragon rider extraordinaire,
Alan Childers of Alan Childers Art and Illustration. We're here to talk about the dragons we face, the treasure we're after, and the wondrously weird journey of life. Every episode will explore what it takes to face your dragons and maybe even ride one.
So grab your shields, sharpen your claws, and let's dive in today, because today we're asking the question that matters most. What dragons are you facing? Hello.
Hello.
We have a guest today, Brian W. Parker, who's been with us in the past. We loved him so much we decided to bring him back on again.
Returning guest. I think it's like our first returning guest, Brian W. Parker.
Technically, yeah, Nathan was kind of our first, but he joined us right before we had announced the actual podcast. So Brian is our first official returning guest.
I'm proud and just filled with joy that you guys had me back. Really.
Yay! We love it. I'm gonna share the things. So Brian, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and where to find your stuff, that would be awesome.
So yeah, I'm Brian Parker. I am author, illustrator, educator, and publisher. I live in Beaverton, Oregon, in the Portland area. And I have, along with my wife and my kids, we have published now 26, going on 27 books, all for youth fiction. So picture books, graphic novels, YA, middle reader, which is kind of my bread and butter and my purest joy. And we're so excited that we get a chance to do this and get in front of young people and adults in particular and encourage them to dive into their own creative processes and use our stories and our books as a jumping off point for them to express themselves and find that joy in them. So you can find us at believeandwonder.com. All of our books are available through Amazon, but you can also get them at bookshop.org if you want to support your local nonprofit or your
we
local,
love bookshop.org. The bookstore I work in goes with them too.
Awesome. Oh yeah, we got to support our temples of knowledge, which are bookstores. Yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Welcome back.
Heck yeah.
Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, I relish the opportunity to talk about this stuff, and I'm not sure if I mentioned, I probably said something on Facebook or whatever, but I went through a period just recently, probably the last 6 to 8 months, of like really pulling in and like, really focusing on my creative process and finding joy in it and, exploring it. And so now I'm trying to get back out into the world and start talking to people again, which is a lot harder than you.
Right? It really, yeah. No, we're not made for socialization.
Yeah, it's weird. You're made for community, but we're not made for like chit chat. It's a really weird jump. But
yeah.
I used to be quite good at, I kept my mask real close, so I could switch it on and off. But
yes,
yeah, but it's an interesting transition because it's like you're getting to know yourself better, so you're a little bit more awkward, and that's okay.
Yes.
Embracing that is a good thing.
I was because right before we went live, we were talking about alchemy and Jungian and the internal transformation and stuff like that. And I was listening to the three major stages of transformation, and one of them was the middle stage, and it's like the whitening, and it was like this is after you have the soul death, right? After you realize that this is not the life you want, things like that. Mm-hmm. And now you have to learn to trust this person that steered you in all the wrong directions. And that's a scary as hell thing. And I was like, oh damn,
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy, especially for artists too, because there's so much of what you do that is kind of driven by and motivated by this inner voice that if you don't actively trust it, that it's there and you rely on it. And then when you have to actually stop listening to all the other voices so much and focus on that one voice, it's weird because you're like, I know you've been here the whole time, but
Sorry, I ignored you for the last 25 years.
Yeah,
but,
but
can you
we're cool, right?
right? You're not gonna hold that
So,
against me, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
Well,
this was
you did a
this is
post
kind
a
of
few.
a special. This is kind of a special episode that was prompted. Carla saw a Facebook post that you had posted, and it kind of prompted us to want to do this kind of special episode and have you as a returning guest to talk about creativity and things of that nature. Carla, did you want to go into that post?
Yeah, are you cool with me reading it out loud, or?
I put it out there in the world.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So Brian wrote back in April that, I quote unquote, I have been doing some self-evaluation about my work and my career. I'm at the point in my publishing life that I need to be clear about what I want. So much of my life has been about trying to prove my value and to prove my worth. Prove that I'm worthy of being heard. I'm totally over that now. I've done the work. I've grown as a person, an artist, and a member of the artistic community. And I now know for certain that I no longer need to prove myself to anyone. So what do I do? So what do I really want? Is it fame? Not really. Money? Money is nice, but I never started out doing this to be rich. When I boil it down, I want to make things that inspire. I want to create art and stories that fill the soul. I want someone to walk away from my work and know that my heart and know in their heart that magic exists. I want them to know that they are the magic in the world. I want my work to remind them that their ideas matter, their stories matter, and they matter. I don't have to be perfect or famous or rich in order to share this light with others. Each of our love and inspiration is like a flame, and we have to keep it burning bright. Life will try to dim or extinguish it. The most rewarding thing you can do is help someone bring their own light back into its full shine. If my work has inspired you or put a smile on your face, then you are proof that I'm living my dream. And I read that, and that's that's what I have been going through for the last 6 months too. Of the new work and connecting people with the cosmos and remembering that the cosmos is reflected back at them and through them and around them. So it just that whole post made me go, I need to talk about this with Brian on the podcast so we can because it's
Brian, when is your TED Talk? I mean, I just want to know when your TED Talk.
Oh man, I would eat that. I would eat that up. I'd totally look. If you guys can't tell, I'm always been a nervous talker, and I've learned to grab the reins of it, and so I can aim it in a direction that I want it to go. But yeah, I love talking about this stuff, and it means a lot with another fellow creative that you respect and that you and honor their path and their process. Here's something, and it connects with them. It feels like it's not necessarily like you needed the validation, but it's like you're walking down a path and you see a road sign that points you in a direction. It's like, oh look, there's another one. It's like
and a fellow understanding, right? There's something about connecting with people that understand what it is you're trying to say.
Yeah,
because we're all trying to yell into the void with our work, and not even if you're not on social media and stuff, that's what that's what we're all doing, is yelling into the void. And to know that other people are like, oh, I see you and I get that and I feel the same. I think is very important for humans, as a species. That connection.
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's so vital too about your work process too, is because I honestly think that there's a lot of people come to me and it's like, oh man, I want to get published, or I want to. I do a lot lot of advising in that vein.
No. I bumped the table and it like earthquake. I'm like,
oh, that's okay. That's great. But seriously though, I mean, it's like, you, and I'm sure you guys too. You run into folks that soon as they see you're doing the work, they want to ask you, how do they get to that point? How do they achieve success and whatever? And success is such a weird thing, especially in America, for what is the definer of success? And it really does come down to, you have to kind of base it on something internal, because if not, then the finish line moves so damn much. But
the goalposts move all the time.
Oh yeah.
The bank account moves. Everything moves.
Yeah. And that's always a really weird barometer of it too, because it's like, oh, I did really well at this event, and then you look at how much you actually made, and it's like, in the grand scheme of things, somebody probably could set fire to that to light their cigar, So it's like, Yeah, you
Or
can't
even the
use,
idea, like if I get, as soon as I get published, I'll have money. And I'm like, I've been published, internationally published multiple times over at this point, and
yeah,
I still need to, figure out
see,
where money's coming from. Like it's
you
not,
know, and
yeah,
that's the great thing too about knowing other creatives and stuff is that you get a better and more grounded sense of what that even entails.
yes,
I know award winning authors and I mean internationally known, like and they're like, yeah, I need to make a couple extra bucks this month so that I can cover things, and I'm like,
yeah, oh
you're
yeah.
still there, it's still there. So
Yeah. Artists
you know,
artists that I know from me having sales of, 30 to 40K a year, all the
hmm
way up to artists that I know who are multi-million dollar artists. In
hmm
this moment in time, we're all down 50% across the board. And
yeah,
it's fascinating that our art is all over the place.
yeah,
All it's this, like, it's a common denominator right now that everybody is down 50% across the board. And
exactly.
it's not one group of people being hit, it's not one medium being hit, it's not one genre being hit. It's crazy,
It's
right? It's
across the
nuts.
board. Yeah,
That
and
just tells me it's not the art. It's not the
yeah,
No,
art.
oh no,
Like
no, 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 no,
it's
not at
not
it's
the
all.
not
art.
what people are creating. It's where the systems that we relied upon to be there to provide us, economic
Mm-hmm.
success, renown. Those systems have become increasingly deteriorating or harder to get into
Oh yeah,
because they're just not working for us the same way.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And it really does facilitate like a reset, a personal reset of what is your own barometer of success. And I've whittled it down. I've whittled it down for myself personally to three things: is are you loving your craft while you're doing it? And I'm like, I'm there. I love it. Are you growing in your craft all the time? I'm growing in it. I'm learning new things. Everything I learn is applied to it.
Yes.
And are you sharing it with others? Because once again, I was raised with this idea of service that that anything that you do is
Take
of service.
notes.
Yeah, it's of service to the collective, right? It's I've written books and drawn pictures that I've seen wonder light up in a kid's eyes before.
Yeah.
I've had people show up with their sketchbooks and they're like, I'm not really that good. Could you take a look? And I
Yeah.
have said something to them that they walked away feeling like, oh my God, this had value. That's important. That's important,
I
especially right now,
there's
being visible.
the very little amount of money that will strike awe in your heart compared to somebody coming up and explaining to you how your art has
Yeah.
changed their life.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. There is not there. No, I just got
No,
goosebumps just thinking about, like, there's nothing better on the
it's
planet
absolutely
than
nothing.
having that.
And you can't explain it to someone that's sitting there trying to like what's your month to month income on this, how many events do you do, and I'm like,
Right. Brass
forget all of
tacks.
it, forget all of it. Literally that moment when you're sitting there with someone and they're like, this thing that you wrote or this thing that you drew, it made me think of my mother, and
Yeah.
um I hadn't really thought about her in a long time, and it just opened something up inside of me. That moment of connection is
Yes.
priceless. It's literally
For sure.
yeah,
priceless. So,
it is.
and kind of reestablishing that for myself. I think it opened me up in a lot of ways. Yeah, because
For sure.
I've seen growth in my own work, which is always very
Isn't that a
exciting.
trip? Yeah. No, this
Levels
lion
up.
behind me, I've literally repainted it 3 times.
Yeah.
And every time I've painted it, it's been so much better than the time before. And
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
I'm doing so much more experimentation now, and so much more like being able to see your own growth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I worked so I have a day job now at a bookstore, and we were working a tattoo convention yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 minutes before close, and my boss was like, "Well, I'm going to go out to the car and get boxes, so we can start tearing down." And I went, "Okay." And I opened Instagram, and a random artist that I follow was doing a painting and had recorded herself painting. And I didn't even watch the whole video, but the next painting just blew up in my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. So I opened it. I'm like, I'm looking on Pinterest and I'm pulling, and she comes back with boxes, and I look at her and I'm like, can I have like 10 minutes? Because I have the most amazing painting in my head. And if I lose it, I'm not going to remember it. So I need to get enough like reference material so I go home and I can get it on paper, because I don't want to draw it now. And she just looked at me and she laughed. She's worked with me for like 10 years. She's known me for 15. She knows I'm an artist. She's like, I can handle this for a few minutes. And I was like, oh, good. And I'm like,
I love that.
The growth and everything is just so
Brian, are you like
itself.
Brian, are you like Carla? Can you see what the finished piece is going to look like before you're done with it, or do you have to have like a conversation with it visually?
It's kind of pieces. It's kind of pieces and parts, because I keep a little sketchbook for all the like getting the ideas and stuff down. Like a lot of artists, it's like I think I know what I want at the beginning, but very often, so. I did the sketch.
I love thumbnails, so I love seeing other people's thumbnails, because you have no fucking clue what's going on in them. Like I love that.
I know, because it's like, oh my God, it's just all movement, and like I know there's a head there and an arm, and then so while I'm doing that and stuff, I'm like, I have a good idea of what I want this to be, but I'm not totally nailed down. And that's the cool thing about your growth as a process, is that you learn to trust yourself. You learn to trust your intuition, and you can make decisions in the process, So this ended up being the final. And
that's so good.
So I got the movement down, but then I didn't think about all the thorns and the thicket and stuff around it, which is very Brer Rabbit.
So nicely. Yeah, Brer Rabbit.
Yeah. So that none of that was in the original sketch. That all came out during the process. So
that's a character right there. I need to play him in some Daggerheart or some D&D.
Well, that's the thing. And as I'm doing this, I'm telling myself a story, right? And I called him the Briar King, right? And that he's like a messenger, and he'll take like all these messages from one place to another, but he loses half of the messages as he's running through his thicket and like trying to take them from one place to another. And the messages aren't lost. They kind of like blend into the world. So you think sometimes you're getting inspiration from places. It's messages that he, in his haste to deliver,
so good.
Totally lost them.
You have Nicholas. You have Nicholas the Maker. I think you just unlocked a new character in your multiverse here.
That's always the weirdest thing, is that I always wonder when people are like, "Where do your ideas come from?" And I'm like,
everywhere,
every freaking place.
I opened Instagram and saw 3 seconds of a video and had an entire painting.
Yeah,
but we fill the well constantly, right? You're constantly like on Pinterest or doing research or looking at. So it's. I mean, yes. When I have an idea for a painting, I open Pinterest and I start skimming, and I'm like, I know that I want to paint a lion, and I know the shape of the lion. So I'm just like, there's a hole shaped in my brain, and pictures are going by, and if a picture fits that hole, it like bing, and I'm like, okay, download that one, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I'm able to like filter through these things.
Oh,
but if I'm having a down period or too tired to work or whatever, I'm on Pinterest looking at everything that I can possibly look at, or reading, or watching, inspiring movies or whatever, or looking at other artists. I mean, the balance for that is just to constantly refill that well.
It is. And that's where, passion and excitement and stuff become like these great, like compasses, right? Because it's like, you'll see something and it'll catch you, You ever like walk past a mural or something, it'll catch you, and you kind of turn around and you'll look at it, and things like composition, color usage, iconography, the story behind it, all those little things and stuff, they're all filtering into you anyways. And as an artist, you're just aware that you're having that experience. Everybody's having that experience. And
we can just see the working parts.
Yeah, we're just
like it's like a secret language. Like we can see
it's
why things are done the way they are, instead of people just seeing it going, I love that and I don't know why. And I'm like,
I know why.
I know why.
That was half of my job as a graphic designer, was I'd sit in a room with a bunch of people in suits and they'd be like, something's wrong about this. I don't know. It's just really not sitting with me. And I was like, because the font, I put a slant on it, and it doesn't really have in that font set. And they're like, oh, okay. So it's literally
Right.
having
They're having an
eyes
emotion
and
reaction, and it's
intuition.
our job to interpret that, right?
Yeah, and I love it when somebody that doesn't engage with art or story or anything like that on a regular basis, when you see that, it clicks, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, I know what this reminds me of. I saw this tile once at this one place that was hitting that kind of, and I'm like, that if you had a notebook at the time, you could have wrote that down.
Right. Yes. I have to tell you, I do have to say, I am so unbelievably impressed with you, because last time you were on, you were like, can we talk about this Oracle deck idea that I have? Because I kind of want to like see what your thoughts about it are. And here we are, like 3 months later, and you're like, I'm almost done. And I'm just like, I am on it. I am prolific, and I am on these, and you just blew my ass out of the water.
Oh,
like, holy crap.
Thank you. I was telling somebody the other day that, and I don't think anybody outside of the creative community really gets this, but when artists compliment each other, it sounds sometimes to other people like I'm the first person, if I see another artist and I love their work, I'm gonna be like, I freaking hate you, man. And
I know, right?
I know. I've done that to you so many times, Brian. I'm just like, oh, he's so freaking.
Oh, especially if you have like, there's an artist. I'm gonna do a shout out for Jessica Douglas. She's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But we are definitely pulling from the same well. So it's always a race to see who's gonna get the idea out first, because we post it and then the other one messages the other one and goes, oh, that's like literally in my sketchbook right now. Like there's no ego, there's no jealousy there, but it's comical how often it happens.
It's the best kind of rivalry, right? Where it's like you're snapping, you want to see that person blow up and stuff, but then at the same time there's this really deep-seated love rage that comes from it, where it's like, oh my god,
I'm jealous in the best way possible. Oh my god.
Yeah, I like to compare it to if you ever pick up a kitten and the first the first inclination you have when you pick up a kitten is that you want to bite and eat and
yes.
make the kitten part of you. Yes, it's like it's rage look, and
precious.
Yeah,
it's the truest form of love. I honestly think, but yeah, and one of my inspirations, one of my professors from Portland State, Jamie Mixon. She's pretty much she's a world-renowned poster designer, great graphic designer, awesome illustrator. She does posters for a big venue down south. I cannot ever remember the name of it, but she just recently did a poster for Weird Al Yankovic, and
that is so cool.
Oh my gosh, she did like this full illustration of Weird Al, and she nailed it. I mean, it was like his curliness of his hair, that quirky smile he's got that angle that he always kind of hits, and the life in his eyes. But she has this kind of minimalist brushstroke style, and I think I literally, like, when she posted it, I was just like, you're so freaking awesome. But in my heart, I was saying, I freaking hate you. God damn it. I want your hand. Give me your hand.
Why can't I do that? Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the painting that you posted of the Obamas, to get into the detail and the texture and everything, I was just like, I can't even with these people. I'm just going to throw it all away.
That was the biggest painting she'd ever done. That's the biggest painting.
Oh my gosh. I missed that. Wow.
It was so beautiful. I mean, it's one thing to do something.
Layers.
Yeah. And then to nail the likenesses and the personality and the connection between the two of them.
I know. I mean, so good.
Oh my God. It's just like,
so good.
And she interwove the history of their time and office into the piece, and and
I
I'm
mean,
a
everything. I
research
love it.
junkie. I could not
Yeah.
even imagine the amount of research
yeah,
that she
yeah.
She
had
had a
to
whole
have
team
done.
working on that. She had a whole
Yeah, I
team
know
working
she,
on
she
that.
was working. She had to be working, but that just the vision to have something like that come together. Yeah, that's a real love rage moment where it's like, God, you're so good. I love hate you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
yeah.
what's crazy is that you're looking at some of this stuff and you're going, I could do that, but I understand the amount of work I would have to do to lay those neural pathways in my brain to
Yes.
even get from point A to point B, right? Like
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Bridget Ashwood, she's a big puzzle designer and does tons of other work. And we were talking about licensing earlier and puzzles. And I'm like, I love licensing and I love the puzzles. And I'm thinking like with the new stuff, I don't know if I really want to keep, not that I want to walk away from licensing, but we're all like limited amount of energy, right? And my licensing stuff is all like children's kind of related. And then this stuff is not. And then I've got other projects going on. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to allocate what
Yeah.
energy goes where, right? And she's explaining to me, she's like, if I can be frank, and I'm like, bitch, always, like fucking
Oh,
school my ass, always,
be
always,
frank.
always, because she's like, she's fucking my Bridget's my bestie. But she's like, and I had just sent her a polar bear that I'm working on, which I will send you later because it's really cool. That I'm gonna do, and she was like, that's honestly great for licensing, and she broke it down and explained to me everything that I could do to make it licensable.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there in awe, and I'm like, I did not even make the mental connection from
Yeah.
point A to point B to have this as an option, right?
Yes.
Because those neural pathways are not in my brain,
You know,
and you just,
and
it's crazy.
it is. It's. I have a friend very similar to that. In our literary community here in Portland. Her name is Laura Stanfield, and she runs a publishing company called Forest Avenue, and she is just the best human being. Just top notch, and um, she's like a big inspiration to a lot of other people that are indie publishers like me, right? So, but I see her at events. I see she'll come and hang out. Her kiddo one time came and babysat my kids, which was just
Oh,
so
that's
cool.
awesome.
But yes, and but she'll do that thing where you sit down and conversations start off one way and then they turn into like always drop in some professional stuff and ask her about this.
Yeah.
The way that she can kind of just pull from this reservoir of
Yeah.
ideas, resources, people that she knows.
Yeah.
Just it's
It's amazing.
it's an art in and of itself,
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
beautiful to watch, and I think that's it. It always makes me think too about like my students and stuff, and when I was teaching at university, is that they always wanted that glow up to be a professional these industries, but I was like, the act of being a professional in these industries is forming those neural pathways, right?
Yes.
It's finding a way to link this passion thing to this resource that you've had, this person that you met, this venue that you could go to. It's when those connections start to form in your mind. That's when you know that you're doing it. Yeah.
Well, and that's why I really believe. I mean, there's a reason that so many artists are neurodivergent.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that ADHD is a superpower, and that once you learn how your ADHD works, you can work with it in order to do these things. And it's something that, I mean, I was diagnosed 3 or 4 years ago now. And getting the diagnosis was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because now I'm not looking up, why can't I work in a planner? I'm looking up, how do I work in a planner with ADHD?
Yes.
And I'm picking from bits and pieces who have said this, and I'm going, okay, this resonates, and this resonates, and I can pull those together and create a system that works for me. Yeah. And the unlocking that you can do when that happens is amazing. Like it's
I think it's a reason why, especially we were talking about millennials earlier today, is that so many people in our age bracket, and we're starting to realize that some of the things that people told us when we were younger were hindrances are literally superpowers. They are things that,
oh yeah, absolutely.
There's something about giving a thing a name that allows you to use it as a
harnesses
tool.
its power, right?
Yeah, there you
We've
go.
been learning this in fantasy for years.
Oh my
When you
God!
have the name of
Ursula
something, you
when
own it.
once you name a thing that you can actually like work with it. Oh,
Yep.
dude, yeah,
Give us
yes,
the
and
power of words.
yes, yes, just like in the Tower of Naming, and it's
Yeah.
wild. It's wild. It really is, and it's I think it's a beautiful thing that's happening right now, more so than any other time, is because societally, lots of times we kind of excise these things out of
Yeah,
the,
for
the
sure.
kind of public,
Or beat them out of.
or beat them out of it, literally and
Yeah.
figuratively. And
Yeah.
the fact that we can embrace these things, I think, actually opens a whole lot of doors. I mean, I learned so much stuff just from my kids.
Yeah.
My kids, they're growing up in this really interesting time, but at the same time, all of the things that are very intuitive about them would have been things that when I was a kid, somebody would have said, "Stop that! Don't do that! No, that's
Oh yeah,
that's not okay."
absolutely.
And they had this kind of like this purity about, they fully embraced who they are, just warts and all. But the things that they find out and they can utilize from that are phenomenal. I actually learned a storytelling technique from my son Kamari that I use right now, and I teach about to people.
That
and
is so cool.
I used to. It's crazy because I used to like try to make storylines in the traditional way that I was taught in school and stuff.
Very linear, very
lists, break down a character's history, do a dossier about them, that kind of stuff. It always felt very artificial, and I couldn't connect things. My son would take a piece of paper and then tell me a whole story just by drawing a map. He'd be like, "Oh, we're here, and then this is where the monsters show up." And I'm like, "Okay, that's where they show up." Okay, and then he's like, "And then I fly in my plane over here, and then it's over here. This is where my plane lands, and then that's where I get my powers." I'm like, "Okay, well, why is the powers way over here?" And he's like, "Because it can't be right next to the bad guys, because the bad guys will get the powers too." I'm like,
I mean,
"Okay, well, that makes total sense." By the end of the story, we have this full map. And I'm telling you, it looks like Basquiat style, just every lines, and you see some stuff, but you don't really see a lot of things.
Yeah.
But the map means the whole story to me. I can look at it and remember exactly every narrative move he did and every stroke. And I'm like, shit, I should be taking my story notes this way. I should be making maps of the stories that I make.
That is so brilliant.
I
And you're
literally
locking
now
it in with hand-eye coordination too. You're locking it in.
Yep.
You're storing it in that longer term
Write
memory.
it down.
So when you go back to write it, it's like it recalled in a way.
The recall is there. That's neuroscience right there. That's neurospiciness showing its cool superpower, and it's the creative process. It's all wrapped together. So yeah, I mean, just the fact that we
trademark that one.
right.
Dude, that's the thing. I'm that's the part
That's
of my brain I haven't
video
unlocked.
right there.
Trademarking. But
I've trademarked before, so if you need advice, I can talk to you.
Because creativity lives in the realm of the free, right? Sharing and giving this knowledge for free, and then we also live in a time where people want to take that knowledge and abuse it or not give you the accolades that you deserve. And so but like in its purest form, all that we channel in, we redistribute out. Like we bring it out into the universe, and we want to share it. We want to share it with anyone. That was what the beauty of the internet initially was. Is like it was a canvas for all of human innovation and ingenuity on.
Right.
That was the dream of the internet, and it's been tainted.
And it's something weird about, and I might be getting overly political about it. I mean, because so much of my brain right now too is art, philosophy, and politics. It's all kind of, I mean, but it's
Well,
just
you don't have a choice. It's
yeah,
in your face every day, and if we're not
it's in
actively
there.
involved right now, we're being crushed, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and
I mean, even the creators of South Park were like, "Yeah, we hate putting so much politics in our show, but that's pop culture now, and our show is based on pop culture, and now politics are all pop culture, so
yeah,
don't have a choice."
and any thinking person, which most creative people are thinking people, is that you cannot miss the correlations and connections between the things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's just something about um, a consumer-driven mindset that does make it so that art is easy to commodify, and the people that are the best at commodifying things sometimes are the ones that are least engaged in that act, right?
Yeah.
And um,
Well, I
and
think
that's
we've
not
talked
to say,
about that before with other artists of, artists are we're the drivers of society, right? We're the
mhm,
drivers of trends and what's in and what's popular. And
yeah,
I remember growing up with parents who didn't think artists were anything, right? We don't mean anything.
yeah,
We're not what good are you to society? Ooh, you make pretty pictures, big deal.
yeah,
Without
hmm,
realizing the irony of their car is designed by an artist, the shirt that they're wearing is designed by an artist. Like, but it's like they're trying to keep a disconnect in there
yeah,
so they can control culture, right?
exactly,
They want to say we
exactly,
control
Yeah,
culture. It doesn't matter that we're keeping artists in a
yeah,
closet chained to their desk.
yeah,
I have money, I control culture. I can now charge whatever I want for that couture
right,
shirt, and
yeah,
the
and
artist gets
remove,
pennies, right? And that's what we're starting to see over and over and over again
yeah, totally remove the creator out of that sense of
from
ownership
the creation.
of the creation. So it's an interesting line to walk, and it's a you got to have a level of understanding duality and holding two thoughts
Yeah, for sure.
clearly in your mind at the same time. But I think
Well, and,
creative.
and it's cool to
Yeah,
see, like, and I think we're showing it, and there are a lot of other artists that I'm seeing who are striking out on their own and creating their own IPs and doing their own thing. And it's interesting to see this mass turn back towards traditional art. And I
yeah,
think I think in doing that, a lot of us are rediscovering our love of play and figuring things out and trying new medium and stuff like that. Because it seems like, and this is a blanket statement, but of course it's not for everybody, is a lot of people that I see that are moving back from traditional are coming into like different mediums, or they're
yeah,
trying different things, or they're, moving into sculpture, or they're things like that. And
yeah.
there's a YouTube video, there's a YouTube guy who's, it's like the medieval mentalist or something like that, but he talks about the medieval times and the dark ages and the Renaissance and whatnot. And he did a really great video series about how he sees what we're in now as the dark ages, and that we will experience a Renaissance by 2030. And
Mm.
just a couple of weeks ago, he released a new video and he's like, I know I said by 2030, but it's starting now.
It
And he
started.
was talking about running into like Gen Z who are no longer, they're back to buying CDs and DVDs, and they're not being controlled by the man or by consumerism, and they're not falling into the traps of influencer culture and things like that.
Yeah.
And I know it's interesting to see over the 20 plus years I've been doing this is, when I started, my crowd was a little older. It was like Gen X, a little older. And now I'm seeing a lot more Gen Z come in and purchase my stuff, because they can come in and they can genuinely see that it's not AI, that it's not mass marketed, that it's not, and they'll talk to me and they're like, we're so appreciative that, it's clear that you're still doing this with a pen and paper and again, that's no knock at digital at all. But
Yeah.
people are starving for real tangible
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
Some of
experiences.
that's necessity, though. I think some of that's necessity because they aren't paying Gen Z
Hmm.
enough to actually do anything or purchase anything. Like they keep hiking the rates. They keep raising
Absolutely.
streaming. They keep all your DLCs on every video game. There's a price barrier to everything now, and you've
Hmm.
turned the internet into like continuous subscription service after
Right.
subscription
Hmm.
Subscription
service.
fatigue is a thing for
So
sure.
Gen Z, out of necessity, has had to go back to a physical format, and
Yeah.
so where they can consume their entertainment, their music, their whatever they're trying to get inspiration from purely without having to be constantly nickel and dimed out of their livelihood.
A walking piggy bank.
Oh yeah, and I mean it just dates me, totally dates me. But
You're safe here. It's okay.
but do you remember the? Oh yeah, but you make it look good, dude. You make it look good. And, so you guys remember the experience of walking into a Blockbuster on a Saturday night and trying to pick something
I can
out.
still smell the cheap candy and burnt popcorn
Cheap
and the
candy,
carpets. The carpets in a
burnt
Blockbuster.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Yes, and the hormones, because there's always like some guy standing there that's like, what movie am I going to get that my girlfriend's going to really like, make her want to cozy up with me on the couch? And I'm like,
Netflix before Netflix and chill.
Before Netflix and chill, it was Blockbuster and Hope.
Right.
Blockbuster and Hope.
Blockbuster, and that would have been a good slogan for them back in the day.
Blockbuster
You don't need Netflix and chill. You need Blockbuster and Hope.
Hope, yeah. I mean, you don't know what's going to end up happening. The movie could be terrible, but then it might be great.
You didn't buy the red vines.
No. Yeah,
you should buy the red vines.
You had to buy the red vines. That's what ruined it for you. You should have got the candy.
You should have got the red vines.
But it was just something about that experience of walking into a thing without a lot of expectation, being willing to walk around and be flexible with what you're going to end up taking away. That, I mean, there's something that you can't get. It's something that you can't get from a streaming thing. I can scroll through 1,000 windows of content and still have a hard time figuring out what I want. And
not being fed an algorithm either. Like,
here's
the stuff that you want to see. Well, okay, do I want to watch a horror tonight? And then you go and you see all the horror movies, right? It's not just you like this very low niche 5 movies. Here's another movie from that list, right?
Well, and
it'll take into account like that I'm a 46-year-old white guy. What do 46-year-old white guys want to see? So it won't show
We're not going to talk about that.
Me what I want to see. It'll show me what it thinks I want to see.
Exactly.
Based on what a bunch of other 46-year-old white guys look at.
And it's strangely enough, and then whatever information that they collect, that goes to some executive at a publishing house or at an executive at a film production company, and they're like, well, the numbers say this, so we need to make more of this. And
it's not even that anymore. It's AI.
Yeah, exactly. It just coughs it out and it says, this is what you should do. And I've been a purist for a long time, because you guys know I work, everything I do is hand done. And I go into these conversations a lot of times with the express purpose of inspiring and communicating with people that you need to engage with your creativity. And I think that doing it by hand is imperative. It's something that you should try, that should open you up to it. But I've realized that with AI and stuff like that, being available, and it's a tool for folks. And even though I don't wholly buy into using it as a creative like palette, I'm also realizing that what I'm really trying to push is creative ethics. This idea that an idea has value, that the act of creating a thing has merit. So when you use something that cuts you off from the process, that's when the negatives start to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you can use
devalues it.
It automatically devalues it, because it deadens your expression, and when something gives you a prescribed end result, you miss all those little opportunities to screw it up and then be like, oh, but I like that part, and then make those little discoveries. That's the thing I try to impress on people, is that art is not the end product. That is an artifact. That is evidence that creativity was done, right?
I love that so much.
And whenever somebody's like, these AI things, these AI apps, and these tools, they make art. It's like, no, they don't. They make the end result. They make evidence of something being done. Most of these things are kind of black boxes anyway, so you can't even see the process. the
Yeah.
process.
Have you seen the new meme going around that was like, you'll ask for 47 changes from an artist, but you'll accept the first thing that AI spits out? What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
I'm like,
Exactly.
that.
You know, I don't know how many times
the likelihood that I will ever paint anything close to Leonardo da Vinci or any of the great Renaissance painters is very unlikely. However, the same joy that Leonardo da Vinci felt, the same joy that they felt, we can all experience that when we engage in the act of creation, because we're all experiencing the same thing when we engage in the act of creation. We're experiencing like the struggle, the joy, the, you know, all the emotional ups and downs from creating. So in that way, it directly connects you to these greater artists, and knowing that you are channeling at least a portion or a fraction of what they were able to, like, they accomplished something, but you're still doing the exact same thing that they did to become great. You're in the river. You're in the river.
And the symbolism and stuff too. There was a post today about how AI doesn't understand meme culture. Right? It doesn't understand why we're still using, you know, a meme from 2007 and we change a little bit of text.
Grandpa.
It's funny again. I know, yells at clouds.
That's too damn bad.
But it's
digging.
I tried to explain it to my kids the other day.
The channeling of the symbolism and being able to share. Like I did the Van Gogh experience. And walking through, they had all of his letters blown up, and reading about Van Gogh's depression and knowing that I was having those same issues and that same depression. And, you know, it's fucking Van Gogh, right? We're feeling the same things. That's intense, right?
And then knowing that about him and his life experience, and then re-exploring the art, it opens it up. You're like, oh,
completely.
I didn't see the decisions for these colors. This night has a completely different feeling to it now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like art can be very much like meme culture, because like memes are like hieroglyphs, right? It's it's a symbol, but there's all this cultural context and meaning and stuff that's encapsulated in the symbol that means, you know, that's why it's so hard to interpret them now, because we have lost connection with the cultural context and like the deeper meaning of those things. But you talk to any kid right now, if you show them a picture of, I don't know, what's a good meme right now? Somebody sent me one of that Lemon character from Adventure Time going, unacceptable,
right?
I was like, what? And then I had to really dig into it, because I've only watched a little bit of Adventure Time. It made me go and watch a whole season, and then I was like, oh, I get it now. I understand.
Yeah.
So,
well, this is fine, dog, right? The dog in the burning building. This is fine. Yeah, it's all fine, because that's what we're all experiencing right now, right?
Yes.
It's fine.
And when you see it carries with it a whole historical and cultural context that somebody that was not from this time and this era would not understand. So,
right.
Some of those memes carry weight. Some of those memes carry weight.
They do.
And the worse things get, the more choice the memes get.
Yeah.
Like, I got some choice memes recently that were like, ooh, yeah.
I have kiddos that struggled with, you know, communication early on. And one that still has moments of not really being able to put all of his thoughts and feelings into words. But man, he memorized some memes, and he could communicate a feeling to you, because he just dropped one out of nowhere, and he'd be like, okay, all right, well, we can leave now. Well, obviously you're saying that you're overwhelmed and you don't want to be here, because that's what that meme meant. So it's
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, gifts too. I mean, how much of it? I do that with movie
quotes.
To our friends?
Like, movie quotes is my language. You know, like I will drop movie quotes quite a bit when I'm talking to other people. You know, from my era and stuff like that. Like, all righty,
Oh,
Yeah.
you find your
So,
people
like,
that way.
there's something about like movie quotes that are kind of similar that way because it means you connected with the same media
Yeah.
and you're channeling that same thing. But it's interesting how memes can be used for multiple different occasions too. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one where the lady's pointing at the cat, like screaming, where she's like,
Oh yeah.
that's been used for like so many different
Everything.
things.
It's been
Or
reiterated so many times.
Well, the data
or
and
that
lore.
guy
I
that
love the
guy
data
with the
and lore
sign that
ones.
says "Change my mind" or something. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's
See?
all shorthand, right? It's all like we have been through these things collectively as a culture, so you
Mhm.
can create that shorthand and that hieroglyph. I thought that was a really good, good way of saying
Yeah, it
that
is
is,
a higher
it's a little picture that everybody understands, right?
Yes, yes, and and it's funny too because it makes you realize the depth of human understanding when it comes to things like you know visual elements, even sound and music and all of that stuff. We are built to communicate through these mediums, and so I'm trying not to always be. I don't even know how to put it. I don't want to get canceled.
Understand?
I have people that have come up to me and they're like, they're dealing with, physical impairment. They're dealing with mental health things that they're trying. And there's like the AIs help me to reconnect with my creativity. And I'm like, if it's doing that, then, kudos to you. And
Yeah.
but I keep trying to explain to them, it's like, it's the process. The process means something. If you're skipping over the process, then it's not for you. If it's part of the process, then it's definitely it's a tool for you.
Mhm.
And and I'm like, if that ends up being the end result, then I think that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. It'd be like the time when I had graphic design teachers that taught me about slide rules and cutting film when they were making their graphic design, when they were making magazine layouts and stuff like
Right.
that. And the addition of layout programs like InDesign and stuff like that, they were like, oh, you don't even know how to develop film, and you don't, you
Yeah.
cut yourself with X-Acto blades, and it was like that whole thing, right? But after a while, they were like, okay, I see the tool, and I see what it's doing, and I see that it hasn't changed human creativity. It's
Right.
just changed how you engage with it. And I'm like, if that honor the spirit of the thing, and that's creative ethics. I don't know how exactly I want to do it, but I gotta have
Creative
these
ethics
kinds of conversations.
101.
I gotta have
Yeah.
that. I gotta have that as a thing. It's that because I don't think that a lot of people engage with enough, and that's just really our society trying to devalue the creative
Yeah.
process so that
Well,
they can.
and it's the whole like it's the talent versus skill argument, right? So you have
Mhm.
people they're like, well, I'm just not talented, so I'm going to use AI, and you're like, it's not a talent thing. I've been drawing since I was 4, right? Like
Exactly.
I've put
Yeah.
hours, and again, that in I'm not one doesn't devaluate the other, blah blah blah, whatever, but
Yeah.
you don't understand the sacrifices that have to be made in order to get
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
And that you're missing that part, you're missing that experience, you're missing that excitement, you're missing that discovery, like
Yeah.
you're missing the whole journey. You're flipping to the end of the book and reading the last page.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
our society, especially in the US, is so focused on product and the end goal,
The end
right?
goal.
Like again, why do you want to be an artist? You'll never make money at it. Well,
Yeah.
maybe money isn't necessarily
I mean,
you'll
money's
never
not
be an
necessary.
artist because you'll never be good enough, right? Well, who the fuck decides who's good enough, right? It's
Exactly.
Right.
we eliminate the process because we just want this junk finished product at the end to
Yeah.
have it, and we're told that that's what being happy is.
Yeah.
I can acquire this item and I own it now, and that makes me happy. And now we're finding an entire multiple generations and thousands of people who are not happy, and they're
Yeah.
surrounded by empty stuff.
They're
Well,
surrounded by what they think is the actual physical thing of happiness, and then they're like, I didn't have an experience to get this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me personally, it's not even like that the technology is inherently evil or bad in
Mhm.
any way. Like it's the
Yeah.
implementation. It's the fact that we live in a capitalist society. We live in a society where there is a a class system of trillionaires and millionaires and people who are and everyone else who just
Yeah.
trying to make it. And they say it's okay to shove this down your throat. It's okay to take all of human ingenuity we put on this the internet, take it,
Yes.
scrape it, and regurgitate it back to people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the implementation. Technology itself could be
Yeah.
being used in so many different ways that
Yes.
are wholesome for society, that are
Yeah.
wholesome for humanity, or paying us dividends. Like,
That's what I'm saying right there.
you,
If it's
you know,
ethically being used, then we would all be getting like a nice little check every month. It's like, yeah, we
exactly.
used your work to feed this
Your
beast.
name popped up in my prompt that I wrote. Here's
Yeah,
3 cents every time I used your name, right?
every
Yeah,
time,
well,
every
like
time.
every time you do an inquiry into AI, it'd be like, here you can attribute this like these authors and these artists to what I
Yeah,
created. Like,
yeah,
where's the attribution? Like, give the
exactly.
attribution. Like,
Yes,
and
put it in the
here's the
metadata.
payment.
And I'm involved, like that's licensing, right? That's exactly what licensing is.
Right.
If you're on the level and not ripping off its volume, they've ripped off the entire internet as opposed to a company that wants to borrow from one or two artists. And there are
Yeah,
companies that steal from artists all the time. I'm not saying that they're
Yeah.
not, but I'm
Creative ethics. I
in a
think you just
group.
created a class, another class.
I would be there. I would absolutely be
Yeah,
there.
I would take that class.
Sponsored by Here Be Dragons.
yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. We live all the. It's a tide that lifts all shit,
Yes.
and I really just kind of came from this interactions with young people that are trying to engage with their creativity. They're not necessarily always thinking about I want to be a musician or an artist as a profession, but this gives me joy. This helps me connect.
Yeah.
But then they know that there's these tools that exist out there, and they think that it devalues the experience. And I'm like, no, not at all. If anything, it elevates the value of your particular expression of this thing. Because honestly, it doesn't matter how many versions are created within the software. At any point while you're making a thing, you're gonna your hand's gonna move, and you're gonna put a little weird mark, or you're gonna run out of paint, and you're gonna be like, you know what? I think purple might work here because I'm out of this blue. All right.
Done that a few
Um,
times.
yeah.
I just flooded this entire 2-inch section because I didn't dry my brush off before I started
Exactly.
the paint. Yeah.
Yep. I've had sketchbooks where I spilled my coffee on it, and I was like, that kind of looks
I kind of like
cool.
that.
Shade.
I like that. I'm just
Get
gonna
some more
spread that
stuff in
around.
coffee.
You know, it's those little moments of discovery that make the thing unique in the end,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Well,
why.
and I
But
think that's something you've run into a lot too, Alan, with your students, right? Of, they're up until a certain age, they're great exploring their creativity, and then all of a sudden nothing's good enough because
Yeah.
they're
No, yeah,
spoon-fed perfection all the time.
they get to watching these things on YouTube. They get to watching these things, playing these video games, and these video games are so there's an entire studio working on it, right? But these
Mhm.
kids think if they can't recreate that in their like that to the perfection that they've created, then it's not worth doing. And I have to remind them that, like, I have to refocus them. And I said, anything worth doing is worth failing at, and you have to
Yeah.
fail a lot to become really great. You have to fail.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
be willing to fail forward and learning
Yeah.
from that
Mm-hmm.
experience. Because
I think
if
Sarah
you're
Douglas
not,
did a
then
post.
you won't
Go ahead.
you won't achieve. You'll only achieve like very you'll have a harder time accessing your full potential.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's the great thing about like teaching young people to engage with things like sketchbooks and journals and that kind of thing, because when you're using a sketchbook the right way, it's full of a lot of fuck ups.
A lot of crap.
Pardon my language, but it's not meant to be polished, perfect, or pretty, and it's meant for exploration. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't even know where mine is.
I got a lot of
this is how I sketch a thing. It's a lot of loopy lines, right?
Yeah.
But
because we all have our own shorthand that only we understand.
Exactly. It's fun, and you're engaged, and you're like, you're mad at it, and you're happy with it, and you're excited, and you're all of those things. It's the most human thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. I get so much joy out of looking at other people's sketchbooks. I don't know why. It's just...
It is.
Yeah.
It's something about seeing their process and little doodles
Their
that they do in
the language, right?
Yeah, it says something about you as a person. I had a young man that looked at my sketchbook, because I bring all of my finished sketchbooks to classes when I talk to kids, and I'm like, first they look at them like they're precious, and I'm like, well, don't destroy it, but go ahead, you guys flip through it, look at the stuff, you know? One kid noticed, he's like, I see a lot of swirls and eyeballs. And I was like...
Because you're a child of the 90s.
Yes. And I'm like, I love swirls and eyeballs. When I can't think of anything to draw, I will draw a swirl or an eyeball. And a lot of times, the swirls and the eyeballs turn into dragons. It's just... Oh, nice. And, it's so cool, because when you see that, though, you understand a person a little bit better, you know.
When you understand the time period they were from.
Definitely, definitely.
Totally. You're talking about hieroglyph iconography.
Yeah, my kids are learning how to draw the S, you know, the notebook S, and I realized that when I was a kid, I never learned how to draw it.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I had to teach myself just recently.
When I sat down and did those, so I was having a hard time getting back into the sketchbook. And when I sat down and did those pages, I was like, I just want it to look like a sketchbook page from the 90s.
Yes.
And that released a heck of a lot of pressure, right? I wasn't trying to like make something pretty. I wasn't trying to draw something anatomically correct or, you know, whatever. It was just sketchbook from the 90s. And
sketchbook from the 90s.
It took a lot of the pressure away.
Yeah. Would you say that art and music and all the arts really is a form of learning that you like to learn it, you actively have to fail to learn it. If you don't fail, you're not going to learn it as easily, because there's like imperfection is almost the goal. And learning in that imperfection,
failing upward.
If that is anything, that's like the most human thing possible, is the idea that every mistake, every failure is a growth moment, right? And if your art is anything, it's all the fuck ups just wrapped together into this kind of beautiful new thing, right? I love people that do fabric work, in particular crochet and knitting, right? Crochet and knitting to me is like high-end mathematics. You know, it's like
absolutely, it's coding. It's coding.
It's coding. It's coding. And I may have even had this conversation with you guys before, but just the idea that the level of understanding and hand-eye coordination that comes with the amount of knots that you have to make a finished thing. Right?
I'm on my third rag. It's not easy.
It's not. It's not.
I started crocheting like a month
see my wife make hats and scarves, and she made a dress the other day. You know, I was like, how the hell, you know? But I've seen the iterations that didn't quite get to where she wanted them.
Yeah.
And those things, those moments of it's not perfect, but I learned something. That's what makes it an art, You
I
know,
learned
it
how to
has
hide the seam. I
Oh
learned how
yeah,
to.
oh yeah, oh yeah. My current pen and ink style kind of grew out of me using pencil and really pushing way too hard with my pencil because I wanted a nice
Yeah.
dark line, right? And I messed up my wrist doing that stuff. And I remembered back to when I was um, in art school. One of my professors, Jeffrey Haupt, told me, "You don't erase, Brian. Why do you use a pencil?" And I was like, "Because I need to know that if I do screw up, I can erase it." And he was like,
That safety net.
"Yeah." He's like, "Draw with a pen. Draw with a pen." And I'm like, "No, I fought it for years, for years." And then eventually I heard his voice in my head again. And I was like, "Okay, let's give this a shot." And what I ended up doing was I started a sketch with a pen with a very clear idea of what I wanted and then screwed it up within 5 seconds. And then I was like, okay, fine. I don't want to waste this paper. So I like made some different marks. And then I started to tell myself a story. And as I was telling myself the story, I came up with different elements and then I added that in. And by the end, I had something that was never anywhere close to what I was thinking it was going to be to begin with. But the end result was exciting, right? So
Yeah, ask Alan how many times I've whined about how I should move into oils.
it's scary, right? It's scary because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you keep thinking about all the beautiful oil paintings you've seen in life, and it's like, why am I doing this? Rembrandt did it better. Oh God,
Right.
The luminosity, the chiaroscuro.
oh my God. Yeah, my mother loved Monet. She had Monet books all over the house, and I was like, she had seen it in small images in books. But I told her, I was like, I got to see one at the MoMA in like probably 1999, maybe 2000. I think it's maybe 2000 when I was in art school. And they say when you're looking at Monet, you don't really realize how many thick ass marks there are on there.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you stand up close to that thing, and
Builds it up.
It's these big, like palette knives.
Massive brushstrokes.
Yeah, but that actually is just even that much more beautiful if you think about it. That was such a conscious decision to put that much.
Yeah.
paint in.
Oh, sure. And I think of how many paintings that if you look up close, they don't look anything like, there's not clean, perfect lines, right? There are big, confident brush strokes.
Yeah.
And you do like 6 strokes and it's a hand. And
Yeah.
then when you step back, it looks like a hand, and you're just
like
like
a hand.
fuck.
Yeah.
And it's not this like noodling
Big,
of
chunky
deep,
color.
little teeny tiny details
Yeah.
over and over and over again, right?
I forget the guy's name. It's Chuck. Oh, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he did these like amazing giant portraits. But he did it based on the concept of pixels, because each of the portraits is a whole bunch of little. Yeah, if you
That's
look
cool.
at the squares up close, they're like these really weird combinations of swirls and squares and stuff like that. Big
Awesome.
blocks of color, and then when you move back, it's like, oh my God,
A portrait.
People.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, minus that level of just chaos, literally.
Mhm.
Chaos. That thing wouldn't exist. And that
Yeah.
ends up being, strangely enough, one of the driving ideas behind this deck of cards is I grew up, especially with, kind of a Western Christian mindset that chaos was this horrible thing and that order was the only thing that was good. And I'm like, chaos is the center of a star,
Yeah.
Chaos is a nebula turning into a planet. Chaos is
The last dragon piece I did is called The Chaos of Creation.
Yes.
And it's a dragon in the center of a black hole, and there's, magic and butterflies coming out of his hands. And that's what it is. You have to have the chaos. We have to.
Yeah.
From the moment of our birth till death, we are continually, it's chaos. Like life is chaos.
It is. And order is on the other side of that. I mean, it's a continuum. It's a big spectrum. So it's like all the good stuff
Two sides
happens
of the
right,
same thing.
it's right in the middle. It's like,
Mhm.
between the idea of duality that it's either order or chaos. It's everything that's in
It's
between.
all of
Yin and
it.
yang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So currently, what is, like, again, bringing back to the post and everything, what is the goal of your work? What do you want to inspire or tell people? Or if we can't control what people think about our work, but what
Yeah.
is it that you're trying to articulate with your work as a whole, like your body of work?
Or with yourself.
I lucked out in the name of my company, because
Such a
it
good
ends up.
name.
Yeah, thank you. I'm still proud. I don't know where the hell it came from, but
Divine intervention.
yeah. So you have connection to the universe and ancestors and everything.
Yeah.
But it ends up that is my driving forces. I'm trying to inspire people to believe in wonder. The idea, because wonder, when I was a kid, I it's infantilized. It's something that people think of as cute or sweet.
Grow up and get a
and-
job.
Immature.
Yeah,
Some people think of it as immature.
yeah, and it's funny because words have a way of changing meaning and losing meaning through time. And growing up in a certain faith, I was always told that I needed to fear God, fear all of these things, and then somebody, when I was younger, told me that that the original, that's not really what it meant. The original interpretation is that fear is like awe or wonder,
Yes. Awesome.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and that feeling, that sense of something's bigger and broader and more magical and deeper than you could possibly conceive in this one moment that's the human experience, right? So,
Mhm.
and to me, that's wonder, and I want to inspire that with my work. If I can have somebody look at my work and they feel that for a moment, and I can express to them how to reconnect with that, then I feel like my work is successful, right?
It's like what we were talking about earlier with memes and hieroglyphs, right? That all ties back of we're creating a language that hopefully people can see something and connect with themselves and with the divine and with, whatever else. And this isn't all art. Like, some people really just want to paint a pretty picture, and that's totally fine.
Mhm.
But I think there's another level that comes in when you're, I don't want to use the word driven or something, but when you feel like there's something bigger than yourself that you're trying to communicate through your work, right?
Yeah, and and we were talking about this earlier too, is that our artists are conscious of this. They are aware. And even that person that said that, I just want to make a pretty picture. Why do they want to make it pretty?
Yeah.
What is the beauty that they're trying to get across? And what is the effect that they want to have on that person that sees that pretty picture, Yeah.
When I try to make a picture, when I try to make an image or a creature or a character, I think of I'm not trying to reach the person that comes up to see it. I'm trying to reach past them to the little kid that they were. I'm trying to bypass their logical thinking brain in the moment and awaken something in them that is has been asleep for a long time, and just wake up that spark. Like, I'm trying to kindle that. It's like trying to get a spark, and trying to get, and you see it in their eyes when it happens. They go, and I've seen it in kids, I've seen it in adults, I've seen it, where they go, that moment of, and that is literally, you can see it, the visual, bypassing their brain, bypassing their rational
right into emotion,
and hitting the emotion, right into the emotion. That's the goal.
That is a beautiful goal. That is the goal that we're all shooting for.
Yeah.
And it's weird too, because it's like the way that people usually articulate it, because they don't know that it's connecting with that. Have you ever shown your work to somebody and they're like, oh, that reminds me of, the show or this cartoon or this other thing. And a lot of artists are like, well, that's not where I was going. But
But if it sparks the same emotion in them,
I never correct them.
Yeah.
I never correct them.
And it's the thing that I know I had to kind of combat.
You just give them the wink and the nod.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
you get
probably
it.
in
No
there.
one else does.
It's probably in there. But that's them connecting with an emotion. That's them connecting with that inner kid that's saying, wow, this is cool, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What about you guys? I know I'm the one here getting interviewed by you two, but I mean, geez, where do you see your work having that kind of impact? What is the thing that you want your work to inspire in people?
Alan?
Carla?
I guess Alan kind of already touched on it a little bit of trying to reach past the... Oh my God. I could get deep if you want. I could get really fucking deep if you want. I just went through, I had 4 years of burnout. Really not happy places, not happy with my art, not happy because I was chasing like you get to the point where you're chasing the sales, right? Why am I not selling? How come the sales aren't coming where I got? And I was chasing that, and a lot of that, like on top of having like anxiety and chronic depression, manic depression, chronic fatigue, PTSD, all of it. And I decided, I told the universe I was done. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Show me what I need to do in order to bring art that inspires people and inspires me, and it heals me and it heals others. And I kid you not, I was meditating in the woods in a river. I was sitting on a rock with my feet in the river meditating, going, just like, what now, right? What now? And I heard a voice that said, the cosmic divine in all things. And I looked, and there was a sunflower, and I could see a spiral galaxy in the center of a sunflower. And that was just like, and it opened up everything. And then I, moved into wildlife, and I miss the dragons, and I love the dragons, but the icon of the dragon doesn't connect with people as widely, right? It's not as broad, and there's a lot of dark connotations of dragons. So, I moved back into wildlife, which is actually what I started with 25 years ago, was doing wildlife pencils. When my mother-in-law was teaching me drawing on the right side of the brain, that's what I was doing, was wildlife pencils. And to bring that back from like my fucking childhood, right? Like, it's just amazing. And then to start experimenting with the gold and the reflection of the gold and the lapidary and everything else, it's been crazy. And I literally have my next 8 paintings planned out, and I just bought board for everything. I've started buying lapidary for it all. I've started, I've been in talks with another Oracle writer, and we're going to do an Oracle deck next year based on all of it. And so, I'm moving into the fine art world, where I think I can get a better foothold. I feel a little bad because I'm not going to do like $20 prints and stuff of this anymore. I'm moving into $5,000 to $10,000 paintings and things like that. But the experience that I'm trying to cultivate with my originals, with the metal and the lapidary and the mica and the raised elements, I want it to move and to change as you walk past it. So the mica colors will change colors and things like that. And it's kind of like the ultimate FU to AI. Because unless you know what you're doing, and unless you have the skills to do this kind of stuff, you can't do it. So there's a little bit of an ego stroke of like, on metal, right?
I mean, you're creating an experience, it's not even just the visuals. It's encompassing, right? And that really highlights that whole idea that it's not the end product. It was the process to do this.
Yes. Yes.
ton of decisions that have to come into play.
Absolutely. And I'm still learning them. And to express that and connect the user with a part of the divine. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping, is that they can see that the divine is in all things. You know, it's a lion, but the universe is there. And that, you know, what is it, the kingdom of heaven and the mustard seed?
Yes.
That whole idea, you know, that's, you know, it's all the same. It's all fractals and it's all the same.
Yeah, so we're reading the same stuff.
Didn't know we were going to be getting deep.
Yeah, I thought I had it in here with me, but I don't. I had a book that was given to me by a friend. It was about the study that was done on water, where
that's so good. Yeah.
Oh my God, motion at the water.
Writing.
What is this?
So they wrote for Alan's lost. So they wrote words on like water bottles and then froze the water and then saw what crystals the frozen water created.
Yeah.
And I'm getting all goosebumps because I love that stuff so much.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What the bleep do we know? Have you seen What the Bleep Do We Know? Come on.
Emotions,
and then
emotions affect the fractal patterns in water?
Yeah, literally, if you're directing at this body of water, negative emotions, they would like yell at it, they would demean it, they would say all this stuff. And then when you froze the water, they get
all spiky.
They get all spiky and they didn't have an orderly pattern or kind of come together into those beautiful shapes. And then they would have another body of water.
There's two dancing toaster stuff right there.
Very much so. Very much so. Very much so.
We have to have a watch party of What the Bleep Do We Know? That needs to be a thing we do.
It's good stuff. And yes, I would be a part of that. That would be a part of that.
I need a recommend book list from both of you, like a recommend list, both of you, of philosophy, creativity.
I can start sending you YouTube videos.
I got a lot of good stuff. A lot of people haven't read this one, and I was starting to reread it the other day, but it's Creativity by Matthew Fox.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, he used to be a Benedictine nun. Benedictine monk, and he got away from it. But he's still, he's very much so, spiritually driven. He's like Upanishads and Hermetic thinking and all this stuff wrapped together, but all about the act of creativity and how it brings you back to just being human, how being the most human.
Put that on my recommends list. I need to put that on my list.
My kiddo is sitting here. He's like, I got a question for you. I'm live.
Say hello to the internet.
Say hello.
Yes. Go away. Yes. Chuck E. Cheese. Sounds great. Summer.
Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh man. Let's talk about embracing how chaos is not a horrible thing. It's how things happen. That's children. Oh my Lord. My children. My children are just the perfect example of how chaos can be beautiful and order. The both of them work together so well to make life.
I think that's why I've started working in the education system this long, 7 years now. Just because kids have been rewarding to me in a different way, I've learned so much about myself through their growth, through their learning. I've learned a lot about myself and my own growth as well. So,
definitely. Anybody whose eyes are open, you can't be around kids and not have it connect to life, art, creativity, your own life experiences. I didn't know I had ADHD until I had children, and then then realized so much of the stuff that they were dealing with was stuff that I was dealing with as a kid and suppressed and pushed down for so long. So that a lot of this
talk to kids better than I can my own coworkers sometimes.
Because a lot of times you're talking to grown-ups, they're trying to. We're all trying to read from the script, and sound like adults.
The ego.
the
There was
ego.
a really good discussion of what the ego was, and it's like the UI for the rest of the world. That's how you connect to the world. So you have to the ego is the UI for functioning in the modern world. And I was like, yeah, that makes a whole heck of a lot of sense. But that UI is not always right, like
It's not, and it can be upgraded. It can be, that architecture can be changed. It's not fixed, and that's why you need creative minds. You need people who are fully engaged with their creativity, because the only way to see your way through or around some of these pitfalls that have formed is by being fully engaged with your own creative mind. So um, I see young people right now. They're very much engaged, but do they value it? So
Yeah.
that ends up being most of my job, is just being like, what you're doing is amazing. Keep doing it. It's so beautiful. I see you in it. Keep going.
mhm.
Pump
The
them up,
validation,
pump
right?
them up. Yeah,
Yeah.
got to keep it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And we got to keep it up with each other. Like, we have to validate each other too. I think
Oh,
as
completely.
artists, there's so many things that are in trying to invalidate us. And we have to
Yeah.
be each other's cheer squad. We have to be
Yeah.
each other's, all ships rise with the tide. We're
Yeah.
all for one and one for all. We're like the musketeers out here.
I'm telling you. And every time I get a chance to go and sit down and have coffee with a fellow writer or creative, or I always ask them, "What's going on? What you doing right now? What's cool?" And it's not that I don't want to give critique or critical exploration, but when I know somebody's in the midst of something, they're making decisions. They don't need me. They don't need me to say, "Oh, I like that. I don't like that," or whatever. I'm just going to be like, keep growing. This thing is
Yeah.
so fucking awesome. I need to see how it ends.
Well, it's two different
And
parts of the process too, right? Like
yeah,
there's the creative part where you just make, and this is something that's coming up in my writers group a lot now too. It's like, just don't critique while you're working. Just vomit it all out, get it all out. And then the critique is a separate process afterwards that you have to be in a
yeah,
different mindset for. So I mean,
yeah,
Alan and I make it about critique me harder, daddy. Because
yeah,
there's a lot of people that are just like, no, I love your stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not. I'm looking for a critique on the skills,
yeah,
not on me as an artist, right? And I
yes,
understand that those are two totally different things.
yes,
And a lot of
yes,
people that give and take critique don't understand that, right?
yeah,
Because the
yeah,
skills are so, like, the skills can be learned, but you as an artist, that's a different growth path,
yeah.
right?
And there's a lot of nuance to critique as a skill. It's like, how is it? Am I
Some people don't have
critiquing?
it. Some people don't
Yeah, some
have it.
people don't. Some people don't. It's definitely not something that comes naturally to a lot of people.
It's a
And
learned skill, just like
it's a learned skill. It's an
the
art form.
media creating in the media
I think
is.
of it like this. My critique should be pumping you up. It should be putting air inside your tire, not taking
Yeah,
it out. I think
yeah,
there's some people that just like, they want to deflate your tire. They like
yeah,
they think they're helping you, but they're deflating your tire. You
yeah.
gotta
Mhm.
put air in the tire. You're trying to get this person to ride smoother. You're
Exactly.
trying to
They got to get to where they got help.
get them to a new destination.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
So
love it. I love
that's
it.
where I try to come when I give like Carla, like if I give Carla a critique or I see what Carla's doing and stuff like that, and she's asking for a critique and stuff or how it
Mhm.
looks, I'll tell her, this looks great. This is one little spot that I'm like
My eyes getting hung up on or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm a little
uh,
bit like my eyes are getting hung up on this one little spot,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure
yeah,
this is the focal point.
yeah, yeah. And that's
And sometimes that's all you need. If you're deep in
Yeah.
your own piece and you've been looking at it from here for the last 3 weeks, you can't see,
oh man.
what's wrong.
I used to love critique in school because I had a method that nobody else seemed like they were doing, and it felt like it was working really well. I would look at their work and be like, I love this. I love what you did here. I'm wondering what your thinking was on this section. Yeah. And
There
then
you go.
if they could break down to me why they made a choice about something, then I'm like, okay, I see where you're going.
Okay.
But if they're like,
Cool.
I don't know, that part really didn't work, and I was like, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well, then that part probably needs more thought to it, you know?
Needs more attention.
And yeah,
More noodling.
exactly.
Noodling.
And I get a chance to do that with young creators, but especially when in like storycraft and stuff like that, because there's so many little things you can do. I mean, because writing is hard. Writing's so fucking hard.
Yes, it is.
I love it. I love doing it, but it is so hard. For me, it's like sitting here with a ball peen hammer, just hitting myself in the knuckles. You know,
Just let me draw it. Just let me draw it.
Right? Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
It's not good until these knuckles are pulp. I mean, go. But then at the end,
I
I'm
suffer for my
what makes it
creation.
worth doing, because it is hard. That's what makes it worth doing. And you know the outcome is going to be what? It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, dude, I sometimes be chanting to myself, and I know it's really weird, but I'll be like, I sacrificed myself to myself. I sacrificed myself to myself, and I'm like, it's like I'm thinking about Odin up on the world tree, you know, to learn the secrets of magic.
There you go. I'm gonna rip out my own eye and sacrifice it.
And but I'm like, sometimes, it is a weird kind of self-flagellation to do. But at the same time, it opens a lot of doors. So when I talk to young people about it, I'm like, if there's something resisting you while you're working on this part, that's something that you need to engage with. All right?
Yeah.
That discomfort is information.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the war of art.
About
right?
the
war
process.
of art and resistance, right?
Yeah.
That's what, and picking apart, why am I resisting that part? Why does that feel uncomfortable? And sitting with that and figuring it out. And Alan's already about ready to cry and
I'm
run
feeling
away.
it. I'm feeling it.
You gotta sit with it and figure that out.
I feel like this whole talk has been a prep talk just for me.
I figured you would.
We're here for you, man.
We got 10 minutes in, and I went, "Oh, Alan,
get back at it, Jimmy."
I feel like it's just pep talk for me. Alan, keep going, keep making the artwork. Fabulous.
We believe in you.
Right? You can do it.
All
You
right.
can do it. But yeah, I mean, once, like when I was going through the shadow work and the burnout and whatnot, and realizing that I needed to figure out where the core of all this is coming from, and I have already felt this pain. So sitting with it and trying to figure out where it's coming from can't possibly hurt more than it did when it first happened. Right?
Exactly.
I've already been there. That's a path I've already walked over and over and over again. And that change of like, show me the lessons I need to learn. Unlocked everything. Because now it's like the universe happens for me, not to me. And crap that's happening, it's like, okay, what do I need to learn? And I go, oh, that's the lesson, right? It changes your whole outlook on stuff. And it's been like amazing. Like,
it's baked into so much stuff too. And I love storycraft because storycraft is so much about those kind of archetypes, those kind of, you know, those deeper messages that are hidden within story and stuff. And it's so weird because I'm doing a lot of that Jungian kind of shadow work right now too. And that concept of going into the dark, you know, it's the same thing as the hero's journey, right? You know,
Joseph Campbell.
His
name.
You've got to venture into that darkness. Like,
yes, I have to send you a YouTube channel that I started watching. It's Betwixt, and she comes to that.
I love Betwixt.
Oh, do you? Great! Oh my god! I love like Baba Yaga and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is exactly what I needed at the exact fucking moment I needed it. Thanks, Renee. Like it was like mind-boggling, and then her bit about the alchemical cycles and stuff like that. And when she made the comment of, you know, you've gone through the death cycle, and the darkness and the death of the ego, and now you have to learn to trust that person who made all those dumb decisions, was like, That's why I'm waking up scared to death every morning.
Yeah.
Like it's such a trip. Yeah.
Y'all need
And
to
the
send
universe
me some
tells you when
lists.
you're ready.
I need some viewing
Yeah,
lists, some reading lists.
when you post this, you should you can put some book references on there and stuff. I'll drop some on there too because I
That'd
can
be
think of a
great.
couple
Yeah,
of
for
things.
sure.
Yeah, but yeah, it's very
But you got to do the work too.
you
Like
got to
that's
do
the
the work,
shitty
you
part. You
know.
can't just watch all the YouTube videos and go, "Oh, I get that."
Yeah,
No,
Well,
you have to
that's
sit
empty.
down
That's
in
empty
that
calories.
hour-long
That's empty
meditation.
calories.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
you
and-
That's what
have to
scrolling
do the
is.
work.
It's like eating.
So much of
It's
it-
like eating Cheetos. They taste good after. If you eat the whole bag, it's going to be bad for you. But that's what scrolling is. It's just like eating Cheetos.
Oh yeah. Well, I it's funny because that's the card I'm working on today is
Cheetos.
not Cheeto. Although almost were some Cheeto fingerprints on the sketchbook,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm doing a sketch.
Oh,
It's
hell yeah.
it's a mole, and
Oh,
and he's
I
like
love
surrounded
him.
by he's surrounded by books. I've already started on like the actual drawing
Oh,
of
I
the
love it.
but and he's like he's got the star nose, which I love.
Yeah.
But the idea of gathering all the information but not doing anything with it,
Yeah.
you know, that what's it called, research paralysis, you know, where you're
Yeah, for
gathering
sure.
infinitely gathering information and
Mhm.
not
And that's something Jung does cover. Yeah.
and
You
not
get stuck in the research phase where you think
to
you're
get some
having
Jungian
growth and you
in
think you're learning and learning and learning and learning, but
Yeah.
you have to apply that to your life, right? You have to
Yeah.
get to the point where it's like, okay, I just learned all this shit. Now what the hell do I do with it?
Yeah, and it's weird. It tracks back to the creative process too, where people are like, I'm constantly trying to grow my craft. For what? To what end are you sharing it
Oh,
with
how
people?
many of us spent years collecting art books that we've kind of flipped through once or twice? You know, like, oh, I'm going to learn this new technique and it's going to be amazing. And then you never learn the new technique, right?
Yeah.
You're just collecting.
Yeah, and that idea
You
of
can
that you have to utilize it.
Yeah.
You got to put it out there. You got to embody it, making it part of your
end up
thinking.
collecting- You can end up collecting people into your life too. Like you can end up collecting contacts that serve, like don't serve a purpose to your ultimate goal, like to your ultimate,
They're feeding your
people
ego.
you're basically, it's a form of like, you want to do a thing, but all you can do is consume and you never create and you never change the flow back. You never change the flow back out, You gotta change the flow back
preparation.
out and produce.
Yeah. And
This has been a great episode. Every time Brian comes on, I feel like I walk away. It's with a lot of our guests. Don't get me wrong. With a lot of our guests, I walk away feeling just pumped and inspired. But Brian, you have a way of just bringing out like this kid inside of me, man.
Dude, you guys are doing something really cool here, and you're both obviously super passionate about your work and having it connect with people in a real way, and that we're kindred spirits in that way. So, and in other ways too, because you both seem really nerdy.
Yes.
So I love this opportunity. I love getting a chance to talk to you guys and stuff, and hopefully, people walk away from this and they're like, I do have that empty notebook,
Right? That I should get out and do something with.
Get out and
Absolutely.
do something with it.
Yeah.
We've been going for over an hour and a half, so we should probably close it out. So
Yeah, probably.
thank you guys. Thanks for joining us today, Brian. We appreciate it. It's been an amazing conversation. Let us know one more time where people can reach you.
You can find me at believeandwonder.com. We have links to all of our work there. We will be at the Willamette Writers Conference this year. We're going to be paneling with a lot of fellow authors there,
Awesome.
and we'll be at Rose City Comic Con in.
Woohoo! I gotta apply that one.
Oh yeah, come! It's super nerdy, so nerdy.
Yeah, I've got several friends that do it, and it's been on my list. So awesome!
Me and
Well, thanks for
Carla are
joining
going to
us and
come.
here
Me and Carla are going to take a road trip and come visit you, Brian.
Hey,
We just
got us a new car, so that it's opening up options. I might come around where
Nice.
you guys are at.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Come on. I have an art opening on Saturday. Come on down.
So cool. Oh, and congratulations to Kickstarter.
Oh, thank you.
Monumental.
Thank you. We're
Booyah.
at
That is-
$7,500. I just got the Projects We Love, which made me super excited because that means Kickstarter is like putting it out on their own algorithms more, which is very cool. I'm excited. I'm excited.
She's killing it.
Thanks.
You're giving me hope. You know, I'm gearing up. I might give that
Whenever
Kickstarter.
you're ready, we'll talk.
Yeah.
This is my 12th Kickstarter. And
Yeah.
it'll be my
She's a machine,
10th
though. She is
successful
a
one.
machine behind the scenes with it. She's just,
Oh,
she's incredible.
I love it.
Like I
Thank you.
just watch her dance. I just watch her dance, and I'm like, I can't do that shit.
sometimes that's the best part. It's just like, let me see somebody who is rocking this
Right?
do their thing. It gives
Yeah,
you joy.
well, it's that sacrifice, right? It's that whole I'm going to beat myself in the knuckles until I get it right, and that's
Exactly.
definitely
Get
been
it done, get it done.
like, yeah. I mean, I'm working on graphics until midnight, and then getting up early the next day to start again, right? That's just,
Hey.
and it's temporary, and I know it's temporary, and that's what makes it okay. But you know,
Hey, let me
do it.
This is my compliment for you. I kind of hate you right now.
I welcome your hatred with open arms, my friend.
You
I'll
know,
take it.
Thank you. I love it.
it's like pound cake made with
I
hate.
will transmute
So
that
good.
in my heart to pure love.
I know. I kind of hate Carla too, because I'm like, I'm sitting
Oh,
over there
man.
going, I really need to get up off my ass and do something too.
Oh, hey, that's what it's for. That's what it's for.
There
Thank
you go.
You're inspiring me.
So like and subscribe. We're on all the things. Find us on HereBeDragonsArtcast.com, Substack, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, YouTube, and anywhere you listen. We will see you all next time. Thank you.
Thank you.